I get it when you're thinking about swapping out the old mattress you've been rolling on for years. The idea of spending a few $100 on a new one feels like a gamble. You've probably Googled best hybrid mattress a dozen times, read a handful of articles that sound more like ads than honest opinions, and maybe even peeked at a few Amazon reviews that all sound the same. You're wondering if a 15-inch hybrid is really going to give you a cooler night, less back pain, and enough durability to justify the price, or if you're just buying hype. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes the Nectar Ultra a bit different from the standard foam-only options is that it adds a layer of individually wrapped coils under 3 inches of contouring memory foam. The idea is that you get the body-hugging feel of foam with the bounce and edge support of springs. In practice, that combo shows up in a few very specific ways that matter once the box is out of the way and you actually start sleeping on it. If you're the type of sleeper who tends to overheat, maybe you've tried a memory foam mattress before and woke up feeling like you'd been on a radiator. The Ultra's 4x more cooling claim is worth testing. The brand says they've added more breathable fabric and a cooling gel infusion to the top foam layer. In my own bedroom, the mattress felt noticeably less clammy after the first few nights. It wasn't an ice-cold sensation, but the surface stayed close to room temperature even when my partner rolled over in the middle of the night. For couples that argue over blanket hogging, that's a small win. Back pain relief is another promise that gets tossed around a lot, but with the Ultra it's tied to the extra 3 inches of contouring memory foam. That layer is designed to sink into the heavier parts of your body, hips, shoulders, while still giving enough resistance under the spine to keep it in a neutral position. I'm not a chiropractor, but I did notice that on the first morning after a week of sleep, the usual stiffness I get from sleeping on a firm innerspring mattress was gone. If you've been told by a doctor to look for pressure-relieving mattresses, the hybrid's foam plus coil design could be a practical match. Now, let's talk about who really benefits from that hybrid construction. If you're a side sleeper who loves the plush feel of memory foam, but hates the sink-and-stay sensation that sometimes makes it hard to get out of bed, the Ultra's coil layer gives a gentle lift that makes turning and sitting up easier. That can be a lifesaver for anyone with mobility concerns or simply for those who don't want to feel like they are glued to the mattress. Similarly, if you share a bed with a partner who moves a lot, the individually wrapped coils do a decent job at isolating motion. I could shift to the other side of the bed without feeling a noticeable ripple, which is something I missed on cheaper all-foam models. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to skip this mattress. First, the medium firm rating lands it in a middle ground that might not satisfy anyone looking for a truly plush or a truly firm feel. If you've always slept on a very soft pillow-top mattress, the Ultra could feel a bit too supportive, and you might find yourself adding a mattress topper just to soften the surface. Second, the size matters. The King version is a substantial piece, about 80 inches wide and 15 inches thick. Getting it through a standard doorway can be a hassle, especially if your home has tight hallways or a narrow stairwell. The brand advertises a simple-to-set-up unpacking process, and it's true that the box compresses the mattress nicely, but you still need a clear path and a couple of strong hands to get it in place. If you're living in a studio apartment or a house with narrow entryways, you might spend more time wrestling the box than actually testing the mattress. Durability is another practical consideration. The hybrid's coils are individually wrapped, which should reduce noise and extend the lifespan compared to open coil designs, but the foam layers on top are still subject to the usual sagging over time. A 15-inch profile means a thicker foam stack, which can be great for comfort now, but may compress more after a few years of use, especially if you're on the heavier side. The company offers a 1-year trial, which is generous compared to the typical 100-night window you see elsewhere, but it also means you're committing to a full year before you can decide to return it. If you're the kind of buyer who likes to test a product for a couple of weeks and then move on, that trial length could feel like a double-edged sword. Pricing-wise, The Ultra sits in the mid-range of hybrid mattresses, more expensive than basic foam options, but cheaper than luxury brands that boast organic certifications or custom firmness settings.